Hello, my name is Bonnie Byerly. I'm going to introduce you to an electronic orientation program called the Bedside Nurse Retention or B&R system. Our current process for orientation is paper. It is a three-step process that includes general hospital orientation, nursing classroom orientation, and unit-based orientation, and it can take approximately up to 6 to 16 weeks depending on the hospital and the unit where our new hire is coming to. The average cost of a new hire looking at a 14-week orientation is approximately $16,960. This is a huge investment for a hospital, and it is important for that hospital to know that the nurses that they are hiring are being adequately trained and competent to safely and actively care for their patients. So how do nurse managers retain bedside nurses? Well, orientation is the key. Imagine a house. If the foundation is crumbling, how do you build the walls, place a roof, create an environment that allows a family to grow and develop strong relationships and strive to be the best they can be? Nursing units are no different, and the foundation of their training is the key. The current issues with our orientation process is not enough exposure to diverse patients, inconsistent orientation, lack of collaboration, and lack of visibility of orientation progress. Administration deals with incomplete paperwork, and then also how do we build on advancing the skills if we're not sure their basic foundation has been met. For our patients, this can cause additional cost, increased length of stay, increased hospital-acquired events, and an increase in healthcare costs. For hospitals, we're looking at decreased reimbursements, complications with surveys, and increased labor costs. So here's a new nurse. She's coming from an environment that had them asked to do things. Now they're moved to an environment where they're supposed to be autonomous and take all that knowledge and apply it safely to their patients. Our jobs as managers is to make sure that our nurses who are novice at the end of their orientation come off feeling successful, knowing that they can build off of the foundation that we've provided them. So looking at the Bender model, we want to focus first on the novice nurse and how do we build that strong foundation. There are many factors involved in making sure a nurse is clinically sound. Professionalism, nursing assessment, medication administration, diagnostic understanding, treatment plans, and documentation. All of those are met in our current paperwork. The problem is the orientee is the one that holds the key to that progress. They bring the paperwork every day, and it is supposed to be filled out by their preceptor. So one problem we have is a difficult transition from one preceptor to another. And we have gaps in the orientation because the manager or the clinical educator only reviews it occasionally to make sure that it's up to date. So how do we get all these pieces talking? How do we make sure the nurse manager, the preceptor, and the clinical educator are providing everything that the new hire needs and leads them to a successful and new team member? Well, the B&R system is the program for you. Now imagine a program that has been built specific to your unit. It's based on your patient population and requires skills specific to that unit. It provides stepping stone that guides the orientee through the specific assigned tasks. It's evidence-based. It can be reviewed by all team members at any time. It provides visual images for the orientee's progress. It alerts the nurse manager of incomplete tasks. It provides an analysis of the strengths and weaknesses and outlines the next required training. So the first step is the development of this program. By taking human resources, clinical educators, and nurse managers, we are able to look at all the guidelines and regulatory guidelines and develop a program that is specific to the needs of that unit. So here's an example of the orientation template. You take your unit, the types of diagnosis that are seen in there, and you look at the novice technical skills that you would expect a new hire to complete. And you fill in everything that they would be handling. We also look at ratios, the weeks of orientation, hours per week, and using our AACN guidelines and regulatory body guidelines, the program will develop an orientation specific to that unit and for that nurse. So the new hire is no longer a paper file, it is now an electronic file. So the program will build, based on the information provided, will build an orientation that is specific to the unit and the time allotted for that unit. So here's the program in action. Based on the unit-specific design, the orienteeing preceptor will receive daily tasks to complete, and this will fill in the circle of progress. Missed items will be flagged, and a weekly analysis report will be sent to the team. So here's an example of a daily orientation task for the orientee. They have to go to their unit and they have 3 tasks to complete. When they complete those tasks, the circle begins to fill in. To be able to provide an analysis, we need a Likert scale. So preceptors will be emailed tasks indicating how the orientee is doing on a Likert scale. Additional resources required would be personnel and programs, such as IT, informatics, also looking at the programs that hospital is using that we would need to access. Finally, we would need finance to build the program, develop hyperlinks, develop tasks in a systematic manner, develop alerts for the team members, and a final analysis. The benefits of an electronic versus paper is electronic can be uploaded. It allows oversight. It is specifically built for a unit. It's legible and easily accessible, and it's validated through progress graphs and analysis of the orientation as well as next steps. Though paper is a way of the past, it does not allow us to collaborate and work in an environment that is constantly moving and adjusting. Electronic allows us to pull all the pieces together and provide an adequate oversight for our new hires. I look forward to further development of this program and hope you enjoy.